Okay, welcome everybody. It's 7:03, and we do have everybody present. We've got, if you want to do it, I'm going to do a roll call. Hold on a second before I do that. I know that I need to read. Like I say, I got most things ready and some things not. The remote participation public information session. We've got, due to ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Governor Baker issued an emergency order temporarily suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. Public bodies otherwise governed by the OML are temporarily relieved from the requirement that meetings be held in public places, open and physically accessible to the public. So as long as measures are taken to ensure public access to the body's deliberation through adequate and alternative means. This meeting will be broadcast on Channel 8 and on Zoom. The public may participate remotely by following the call-in information on the bottom of the live broadcast screen. For the Zoom meeting information related to remote participation, please contact Cindy Knox, the IT director at cknox@ayer.ma.us, or call 978-772-8258, or Alicia Hershey, the Community Development Program Manager at ahershey@ayer.ma.us, or call 978-772-8220 at extension 142 prior to the meeting. And again, I do appreciate everybody showing up, and I apologize for the delay. Again, I was all happy to see Cindy starting the meeting, so I ended up talking instead. So thank you, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Let's get a roll call from the committee that's here. Karen?
Karen Swatfeld, Air Council on Aging.
Ken?
Ken Diskin, Air Planning Board.
Ron?
Here, Ron Morrison.
All right, Alicia? Oh, you're on mute.
Mhm.
Sorry, Alicia Hersey, Community Development.
All right, you're our administrative help, so we do appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Janet Providakis is the chair of the committee. I know we do have some public participants. It looks like Sarah.
Yep, I'm here.
All right, welcome. And we do have someone on the phone. I don't know if individual can unmute themselves and introduce themselves.
Hi, Janet. It's Pauline.
That's who I thought, but I just wanted to make sure. Is there anybody else too that may be participating? All right, well, that's great. Thank you. Welcome. Sarah, I like your haircut.
Thank you.
I love the haircut.
I know. It's like, all right. Okay, pretty much it's going to be almost exactly the same as the other meeting that we had on February 24th. So let me go ahead and share the PowerPoint presentation. And this way here, I don't know if individuals knew, but we did have trouble with the taping of the program on February 24th. So I'm going to be going through things again, and this way here, we can go ahead and have it taped for posterity. All right, so again, this is the Air Affordable Housing Committee. We said that when we would go and create this committee, as well as we're progressing, we wanted to give an update to the public. And knowing that some of the public cannot make it to our 10 o'clock meetings on Fridays, we do want to offer, usually on a quarterly basis, some sort of public information session that happens at nighttime. So that's about what this one is. Again, I want to go ahead and welcome everybody, let everybody know pretty much on how the Housing Trust started. How did we arrive here? We're going to go through the bylaw, the status of it, how we're doing on getting the Board of Trustees and the tentative schedules. The other thing too that we will be looking at is the Affordable Housing Committee itself, and how the housing production plan, the status of that, as well as we do have an opening. There is volunteer openings. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Hopefully I didn't lose everything. I've got a cat in the way. And current projects that will be upcoming. So how did we arrive here? In 2017, many of us were at an opening session that Alan Minoyan did, where he had the high schoolers reenact some of the requests that were made in the prior master plans, and on how many things did get implemented, other things did not. So we wanted to make sure that we implemented this affordable housing committee so that we could address the housing issues that were brought up with the 2017 master plan. And in 2019, this committee was formed. We started working on the housing production plan because it needed to be renewed, as well as we began planning for what is called the Affordable Housing Trust. With that, we had multiple information sessions that we could go and get information. We had a great pizza party. We had a nice put your little red dot, blue dot and such on different types of housing complexes within the town of where people, would go ahead and see what they, wanted to see for housing, as well as what they saw was great about Ayer, what they saw was okay, and what they didn't like. So we had all that type of feedback come back to us, which we were then be able to take, regenerate, work it into the housing production plan. And then with that, we can go ahead and start moving forward. I think one of the major things that, people did like about Ayer is on how it is diverse and how we want to keep that diversity within the housing and the community. The other thing too that we did in 2019 is we started open dialogues with Mass Housing Partnership and Massachusetts Regional Planning Committee, the MRPC. So with that, we were able to start, or like I say, again, continue our way into making a strong housing trust as well as a strong affordable housing committee. In 2020, again, as everybody knows, this was last year was an unusual year, but we were able to get the Affordable Housing Trust on the, hold on, let me go back. We were able to like I say, get the housing trust approved by the town during a town meeting, as well as we received $30,000 from the Community Preservation Act funds from the Community Preservation Committee, putting it to the town vote. The town voted yes to go ahead and give us those money as a start, especially to help out should there be a need for any type of rental assistance. Then we started developing hardcore the bylaws, which would give us a good start of, again, of, how to get that housing trust going, which was underneath the review and getting feedback from individuals. Any questions or anything? Okay. Again, I want to make sure that everybody knows that the purpose of a housing trust is to provide creation and preservation of affordable housing in Ayer for the benefit of low and moderate income households and for the funding of community housing. We are looking at this housing trust to go ahead and fill the need where there are individuals that slip through the cracks. This is not going to be something that is going to be Section 8. Anybody who can go ahead and get funding from the state or federal government, they've got programs. This is here to help Ayer residents remain, grow up, work in the town of Ayer. And I think that that's, one of the big emphasis about the housing trust. The trust itself is going to have a 7-member board. we'd like. The guidelines from the state is that it has to have somebody from the executive component of the town. So it's someone from the select board. We're making a recommendation that there's somebody from the planning board, from the community preservation committee, and from the affordable housing committee. That's a recommendation from the affordable housing committee. Then there will be 3 at-large members, and we're looking for somebody who, quite possibly has, a concern, again, with the housing within the community, someone who's in touch with the community, somebody who may have financial background, may have legal background. We've got a lot of mix of individuals that it would be great if we could, go ahead and get. A lot of times people wear multiple hats, so I think that does help out. What we also do is going to be recommended by the Affordable Housing Committee, because the guidelines from the state says it has to be selected, it has to be appointed from the select board. So we are going to be giving names to the select board so that they could go ahead and make their appointments. It's going to meet no less than 4 times a year. And we're hoping that there are going to be public forums to keep the public informed. They're going to be, this board of trustees will be the ultimate decision makers for I'm going to call them the economic requests. If it ends up being the rental assistance, or if, it ends up being all the way to purchasing property. Now, the tentative schedule is the town council did review this by March 19th. We got feedback and such. So I've got all that, built into the bylaws that I'll be showing afterwards. We've got this is the public information session. The final copy is going to be sent, so it is on the town warrant for April 2nd. We're on the path for that. Then we'll have it presented at Springtown meeting on April 26th. Hopefully it gets approved by the town. So once it's passed, it will go ahead and then be filed with the town and the state for being the registry of deeds. We'll go ahead and file the bylaws for them. Whoops. Hold on. Again. Okay. Again, I should have updated this slide. Forgive me. We've already sent out applications. We've received, we put out a email as well as on social media that we are looking for trustee members. And we received 10 applications already for a variety of individuals, which I think is awesome, because there are some individuals who have done a lot within the town for being not involved in any type of other type of committee, but they've been working hard within the town. So I think that, it's a good sign that individuals do want to see some sort of, continued this diversity within the town of Ayer. So we've been pretty happy about that. We've got some great, feedback with the letters of interest. We started reviewing on how we're going to process individuals, like do an interview process around the April 16th meeting time, because what we'd like to do is be able to get a strong list of individuals and present that to the select board for their May 4th meeting, because again, that would be right after the April 26th town meeting. Okay, let me go ahead and move my cat, excuse me. Forgive me. Let me. All right. So what happens when you're at home? They go ahead and we do like to be around. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop sharing this and bring up the bylaw. I sent the bylaw to many of you, and I know that I wrote the word final. It still has to go through the final town council review. This is, pretty much, it's all, straight. I know that we had questions from beforehand, and if you want to, I can go right to that. Pretty much, this is the bylaw. The bylaw is the pretty much the same document that is going to get filed to the Registry of Deeds, and that is called the Declaration of Trust. It tells the registry that this is truly a legal entity within the town, and the town has approved the bylaws and such. So with that, again, this will be like I say, the first step is getting this approved. We've got the section 1, which is the purpose. If there's any type of section or whatever, please, can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. All right. We've got the purpose of the trust, which I already gave, read to you. The name of the trust is being the Ayer Affordable Housing Trust. Again, description of the Board of Trustees being the 7 trustees, etc. That they're going to have like a 2-year term that will be, staggering. So with that, the tenure of the trustees, the meetings of the trust. I know that there were questions before with regards to the quorum. The quorum is going to be, the number of trustees that are on the group. So if there are 7, quorum would be 4 members. We're going to make sure that the agendas and the minutes are going to be posted on the town website, so it will have its own webpage. The powers of the Board of Trustees, it goes ahead and describes a lot of these, are even further just, detailed, because once a bylaw gets passed, it takes going back to town meeting to go ahead and edit it. So one of the questions that was brought up before was a section on making sure that the board can be an independent entity, and it will be. The whole thing behind it is to make sure, and when I say an independent entity, is that once the Board of Trustees gets all set and ready to go, they'll be able to make decisions without having to go back to town meeting. However, we do want to make sure that one of the, we're calling them policies and procedures, is to be sure that any type of discussion that needs to happen with regards to, say, buying property and whatever, will go and, they'll bring the select board, into the fold to let them know what's happening, as well as the public, so that it will be one of those public information sessions, so that individuals know what this Board of Trustee is doing. So again, it will be an independent entity of the town. So again, I know that we had a couple questions with regards to that. I'm just going to, again, if anybody, this is on the website, if anybody really wants to go ahead and look at it, we do have it on the, like I say, the Ayer website. We've got on how the Board of Trustees themselves will be able to do a type of lottery. They are going to, have the different guidelines, that they would be able to generate and abide by. Okay, again, the acts of the trustees, liability. It can only be amended via the town meeting. The funding of the trust. Again, we will be looking as well. The Board of Trustees will do applications for additional Community Preservation Act funds with the CPC. It will be a public entity of the town, which it does have to hold the open meeting laws, posting an agenda 48 hours beforehand, as well as having the minutes. The accounts are going to be maintained by the town treasurer. Then another question was with regards to the town audit. It's going to be part of the town's audit, but it will have the ability to hire its own independent auditor. And part of those guidelines for the Board of Trustees is that, especially in the beginning, it will be independent so that, again, as this entity gets its feet wet, it can go ahead and concentrate on how the monies are flowing and such. And then as time progresses, it would then be able to become with the same auditor, you know, if I want to call it independent, but the same auditor as the town has. When the housing trust, the Board of Trustees, when the housing trust does have its own independent auditor, the Board of Trustees, the housing trust will go ahead and they're the ones who are going to take care, the trust will take care of the costs. I know that was the word I was looking for. Right, and the results of any audit is going to be given to the select board, and it will be part of the town's annual audit. I know individuals want to make sure that, I mean, we all want to make sure that it stays as transparent as possible so that we know where these funds are going. You've got, you know, the procurement that it has to abide by, making sure that if there's any other types of projects that are going on, that they get, you know, with needed 3 bids, etc., and such. The duration of the trust, how long it will be, the annual report. Again, it will be go ahead part of the annual report. Compensation of the trustees, they're not going to receive any salary. And then the last part here is the declaration of trust. Again, that declaration of trust will be filed after this bylaw gets approved and such. And it pretty much will be almost exactly as this bylaw, but it'll be going to the registry of deeds. I know that we did have a question. It would be great if with the purchase of any, the purchase or acquisition of any land, it'd be nice to have something of, okay, after this, you know, when this is going to be happening or after it happened, that maybe within a 45-day period, we could go ahead and make sure that it's publicized to the public. We're going to have that as being one of the guidelines to the Board of Trustees, that they would have to make sure that they promptly talk to, or, you know, have a public information session so that it is, the public is notified, as well as the select board, definitely the public. So I think, Sarah, that was one of the concerns that you had, and to put a time frame in the bylaws, if we needed to adjust it, you really couldn't. So with that, they thought that it would be better to say, you know, again, have it be one of the guidelines that it has to be promptly reported to the town and such. So this was, like I say, this is the final draft that's gone to town council. Questions? Anybody from the committee that have any additional feedback? We did have a good meeting with Robert Pumper, and with regards to, you know, some of the other, you know, like I say, to get some of the answers to some of these questions. I didn't know whether or not anybody else had any questions or concerns.
I think you covered it very thoroughly in the last 2 months, so I'm content with everything you did, and I thank you again.
Okay, no, thank you guys as well.
No, Janet, thank you.
You all set?
You've been in the forefront of this for all of us. The work that's gone into this, I don't even think it's going to be even a question when we walk into
Yeah.
town meeting, because of the diligence and what we all want, what we all stand for. Ron, Ken, you, me, Alicia. You know what? We got some honest faces and honest souls. And Janet, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, but
Thank you.
again, I can't do it without you guys for sure. But going back to it, I mean, I think we all, being Air residents, I want to make sure my tax dollars are being used to the right way and everything else. So,
I
and
totally agree with you. Totally. And
yeah,
thank
so
you.
you're welcome. All right, I'm going to open it up to the public. Sarah or Pauline? Do we still have individuals from the public? Sarah, you all set?
I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay, I moved stuff down. Oh, we have Cindy as well. Cindy Lavin, welcome. Welcome. Are you all set, Cindy? Any questions or anything?
I don't. I think that you covered it really well. You know, I was at the last meeting, so I understand. I think I understand the updates. I'm not a real numbers person, so some of it
Yeah, well, as long as like I say, where the document and our wishes are, that we're heading to. So, all right, that's good. Pauline, you're on mute, so I don't know if there's anything that you've got questions or concerns. All right. I don't know if she's having a tough time coming off of mute. All right, I'm gonna continue moving forward then.
I'm gonna message her and just see if there's anything that.
All right, yeah, let me see if I've got a message from her as well.
Are you not? Oh, I think maybe I didn't hit the star first before the
There
6.
you
I'm sorry,
are.
Janet. I've been trying to say I'm all set, but thank you for checking in on me.
All right, sounds great. But I do appreciate all the feedback that everybody has given. Again, this is the only way that this works, is to be sure that whatever questions or concerns, bring it up, because again, this has to, it just has to work together as a group. So, all right, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to stop sharing this document. And I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint presentation, and hopefully, come on, hopefully my cat behaves, and just give you some ideas with regards to the Affordable Housing Committee update. Again, you do see the group that's here. It's an awesome group. We've been very, very lucky. We do have like I say, we do have an opening. So if anybody knows of anybody who would like to be part of the committee, we are going to be if I want to call it, the ones that are going to be doing the heavy lifting for the Board of Trustees. We'll get, again, some of the items ready so that they will be able to work. Again, it's Alicia's going to be doing the administrative work, but we'll just make sure that we've got everything ready so it gets presented to them and they can make decisions. All right, what we've I was talking about the Affordable Housing Committee. We started working on the housing production plan. We did have a nice discussion with MRPC. And with that, we do have some of the highlights of the draft plan that now is in its stage. And Alicia, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is going to be going to the state by the end of the month. Is that correct?
That's correct. We're putting on the final finishing touches, need a signed letter from Robert, and we'll get it off for certification with the state. So that's been a bit of a haul. We've got a grant from MRPC to do that, to have them help us do that. But I think that we should be very proud of how it's come out. I think it looks really good. Yeah,
and some of the information that was produced opened up our eyes. We've got Ayer's population is aging. I think it went from in the past, say approximately 20 years, it went from 34 for being a average age to 41 of being the average age.
Oh,
Pardon? Oh, so with that, again, the population is aging within the town, as well as the way that people go ahead and own. About 63% of the residents here own their own property. Many of them are just single owner of the houses. Ron, you can correct me if I'm stating something that is out of the ballpark, but we don't have, it's only about it's 2/3 that own and about 1/3 that rent. Is that about right?
Those numbers are right, but the rental rate is 60%.
Oh,
20
okay.
So some of those owners rent their
Okay.
houses.
Understood that. Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
all right. That sounds about right. Okay. And a lot of them do have like a duplex too that helps them pay their mortgage and
Right.
such.
Particularly around the center area.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. We do know that the prospects of coming into town are being priced out, and I don't think I have to, I think I'm preaching to the choir when I say that we've got individuals who'd love to live in and are working here in Ayer. They can't afford Ayer. So we know that there's got to be some sort of workforce housing that needs to be developed so that people can live here and work here. We need to, one of the things that the production plan states is we have to become familiar with the benefits of having a friendly 40B. We are not at 10%. Like, I don't know if individuals know, but the inventory, the subsidized housing inventory needs to be at 10%. If it's under that, then you can have an unfriendly 40B developer come in and they can not abide by some of the zoning regulations because they can, again, that's why, you know, it being unfriendly, because they know that we need to get to that 10% market or the 10% number. So we want to make sure that we are looking at, you know, friendly 40Bs. And from what I understand from the Office of Community and Economic Development, they've been talking to some developers that I use the word holistic, and that'd be on another slide as well, to have these developers, nonprofit and profit developers, work so that they grow the area that they are going to be building, the units that they will build, the community that they build also grows with the town of Ayer. So it's not just going to be a cookie cutter type thing, that it will go ahead and you know, be able to help out the community. We want to make sure that we promote and use the inclusionary housing guidelines from the Ayer zoning bylaw. This here allows, you know, for additional dense and type housing construction. And then we're going to work with the Community Preservation Act so that we can get more monies, as well as with Habitat for Humanity. And to make sure that we do have, I mean, right now we've got one duplex and a single family house. And they, you know, those individuals not only have got to help Habitat for Humanity in the future, but also too, they become part of the town. So I think that that's a win-win-win all the way around. And then one thing that they do emphasize is collaborate with other agencies so that we're able to work with the housing authority, work with other, like I say, other departments to be sure that we incorporate as much as possible. Hold on a second. Just wondering, I think I missed this slide. Did I? I don't know how. Oh yeah, no. Okay. Yeah. I gather yeah. I've somehow or another moved that up. All right, so we've got some of the current projects that the committee is working on. We've got, like I say, we've been going to different conferences, seminars, and training sessions that have been done by Mass Housing Partnership, the MRPC, and CHAPA. This here will go ahead and help us understand a little bit more of what is available out there for developers, what other types of housing projects can be done, what other types of opportunities that are out there. And I think the group has really, picked up a lot, with regards to some of these training sessions and seminars that we've gone to. And especially with it being with COVID now, everything can be done on Zoom. So it's not like we've got to travel to Roxbury or travel to parts unknown within Massachusetts. So it really has been helpful. And again, we've been looking at affordable workforce housing projects within the town so that people can go ahead and afford to live here and work here. So we're, again, looking for developers with that holistic approach and such. And with that, again, want to make sure that you are able to contact us. So this here, again, I'm going to enlarge that so that everybody knows that if you really want to be part of the Affordable Housing Committee, give Alicia or myself a jingle and let us know that if you want to be part of it. Because we, like I say, we can go ahead and use 2 more individuals. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing this and see if there's any other types of feedback from individuals and make sure, like I say, we're going on the right track. Do I get a thumb up? You got it. Thanks. All right. So again, this was more of a public information session. I wanted to make sure that people knew what the group was getting involved in. And we are trying to make sure we stay as transparent as possible so that everybody knows what we're getting our hands dirty into. And it's a great team. Anyone from the team want to add something? Anything else? Hey, this is good.
We're doing some really good work, guys. We really are. I mean, I saw Ron out there today, and I had all these memories. You were out there measuring Carlins, and you put the lease signs up, and I'm like, oh my God, times are changing, but we need to continue to take care of those in this community that need it the most. We really do. And I am most proud of how all of us have worked together, the friendships. I mean, Ken, Alicia, Ron, I mean, it's a really cool thing. And there aren't many of this out there, believe me, because I live it every day. And I'm sure you know, Ron, there's not a lot of this. So thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I think one good thing about it is we are starting on the right track. I think, Ken, you said the word is, we're at a junction. We may not only be, the old Groton Junction, but we are at a junction here within the town to make sure that we do take care of our own, like you said, Karen. And with that, I think we've got a good momentum going. So I do appreciate everybody's support and such. So this is great.
I apologize for blacking out. My dog had to go outside.
Oh, jeez.
So Oscar had to go.
No excuses.
Like, okay.
Hey, you're the ones who get to see the tail that goes back and forth here. So it's like, all right. Alicia, is there anything, as you take a sip of water, I'm sorry. Is there anything you want to add?
Just that what we talked about on the housing production plan, and we got, Well, did you name all the different people that have put applications in, or was that
No.
something to do with a regular meeting?
Yeah, we're gonna do it at a regular meeting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm,
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. I am
Yeah.
so excited to see that.
yeah. Same thing here, because like I say, we've got some
Yeah.
real new names too as well. So
Good.
we've got names that have been around that have done a lot for the town, in all different aspects, as well as new names. So it's nice
Some
to
young
see.
blood. Keep it
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, guys.
No, I don't want to be a vampire. No, it's like, but I think that's good. Anybody else from the public who may want to say anything? All right, go ahead, Pauline.
It's Pauline. Yep, all set. Thank you, Karen, Janet, Karen, and Alicia, and everyone else who's commented.
All right, that sounds great. All right then, so with that, if there's nothing else, I really do appreciate everybody's support. Again, on to April 26th. See you all at town meeting, and with that, give us the support.
We
All
got it.
right, okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a
You're
great
welcome.
night.
Everyone.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Good night, you guys.
Janet, do you need to adjourn?
Oh, that's right. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Sorry. All
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
You got it.